Good morning, guys. I'm starting a little closer than normal, and happy 4th of July. So today is going to be a little bit of a different kind of workout because I've decided I wanted to try adding in some weighted exercises. So if you have weights, something that you can use to, hold with one arm, nothing too heavy. Whatever you have, you might want to grab it and have it on hand. If you don't have a weight, then you could grab anything that's heavy. So if you have like a heavier book, if you have like a can or a heavier water bottle wouldn't really work as well, but you could try and use those things. So just look around your house and see what you have. Any weight will work. It's just going to depend on your level and your strength. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you don't have to have the same weight as me. Not everything is going to be weight included. It's really going to be towards the end of the workout when we're doing more ab focused stuff that we're going to just add in that little extra challenge. Everything is going to be able to be done body weight though. So if you have no weights or if you don't want to use weights, you don't have to use them. It's just going to be there as an option. For some of the things, if you don't have a lighter weight, you might want to just have a book by you because you can actually use the book to create pressure, and that's what we're going to be doing towards the end. We're going to get started with our usual warm-up, which is going to be standing on our mat and doing that little butterfly squat that we always do. So we're going to just get into it right now. All right, so come on back. Feet wider than hip width apart as usual. Lifting up, coming down and up, down and up, and breathe. Y'all definitely have to send me a message afterwards, since unfortunately the comments on my live stream get deleted once I upload it. It's so unfortunate. So y'all will have to let me know in a message or in a comment if you like this kind of hybrid style of class where we do yoga, which is kind of this class anyways, but with the potential of adding in weighted movements for some things. It's not going to be for everybody, so y'all just let me know what you're thinking. I like to try different stuff, think outside the box, so this is me thinking outside the box. All right, back and forth, weight in your heels. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Breathe back and forth. Up, down. My legs are super tired today, so if I'm moving a little bit slower, guys, that is why they are so tight for my workouts this week. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, take a second, deep breath in. Exhale, drop those shoulders. Feel free to close your eyes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop. Good morning. Up and down. Up and down. One more inhale, up and down. All right, don't forget, you might need a weight later in the workout or a heavy book. So have something by you so you can have it readily available, but you can also go get it later towards the end of the workout. We're going to come to the end of our mat, reaching up towards our ceiling, hinging from our hips. We're going to come down all the way into a plank. Hold, keep your tailbone tucked, so it's a slightly rounded plank. Breathe, hold, hold. Walk it back up to your feet, doing the same thing, lifting up, hinging from those hips, coming down, crunching in, keeping that tailbone tucked, pushing the ground away, walk back, Breathe, lift up. Walk it out. Tailbone tucked. Breathe. Walk it back. Up. One more. Walk it out. Tailbone tucked. Breathe. Push back into a down dog. So go straight into a down dog. Push back into those hips. Let's alternate knees coming in. Add a little twist if you like. Try to get your ears between your shoulder blades. You're extending that spine, lengthening it. Come back to neutral. Bending your knees as much as you need to, keeping your tailbone untucked. Take your left leg, send it straight back. Let's open up that hip to the side. I'm gonna move over just a little bit. Up to the side, let it fall. Full stretch, open up those abs. Open up that hip. Breathe. Rotate back. Bring that foot up to your left side. Open up towards that leg. Breathe. Oh my goodness, my legs are so tight. No, I already said it, but watch me move extra slow today. All right, bring it back. Crunch that knee into your core. Come back into down dog. Breathe. Let's take our right leg, send it straight back. Open it up. Full stretch for our hips. Full stretch for our core. Breathe. Good. Rotate it back. That leg's gonna come up towards the right side. Open up towards the right leg. Breathe. Bring it back down, back into down dog. Left leg up and open. Breathe. Really try to open that hip. Open those obliques. Rotate in. Rotate open towards that leg. Breathe one more time on the other side. Crunch that leg in as you come back to down dog. Right leg up, right leg open. Breathe. Rotate it in. Right leg to right hand. Rotate, look up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Rotate back. Pull that leg into your core. Come into down dog once again. Breathe. Holding down dog. Trying to push the ground away. Keeping that tailbone untucked. Don't tuck it in. Have a rounded back. Untuck that tailbone. Bend those knees as much as you need. All right, shift your weight over your arms. Bend your legs into a hover hold. Let's stop those knees about an inch from the ground. Push the ground away. Hold it. Hold it. Breathe, 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 and drop it down. Come into a child's pose. And breathe. Few breaths here. All right, come back onto all four. Now we're gonna be, without stopping, we're gonna be moving from a hover hold to down dog to back to a hover hold. So we're just gonna shift back and forth, back and forth. And for everybody who has joined that didn't hear me in the beginning, optional at the end, adding in weight to some of our exercises. So if you have a weight or if you have a heavy book, you might want to have it on hand because we're going to use it at the end, but everything can be modified to be body weight. So if you don't have anything or you don't want to use weight, don't worry about it, but just a heads up for everybody who joined that didn't hear me before. All right, on all fours, coming up off those knees, hovering. Try to get those knees about an inch off the ground. The lower you can do it, the better. Pushing the ground away. So I'm actively pushing the ground away, almost like I'm doing a cat-cow. Same idea here. I'm pushing it away. Breathe slowly. Maneuver out of it into a down dog. So as slow as you can, pushing your weight back into your hips, stretching it out. Breathe. Remember, keep those hips untucked. You don't want to tuck the tailbone while you do down dog. You want your spine to be nice and long and elongated, stretching out away from you. All right, shift that weight back over those arms. Slow and control. Drop those knees to about an inch above our mat and hold. Breathe. Actively pushing the ground away. Your upper body is not passive right now. You're pushing the ground away. You're keeping your upper back engaged. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Slow movement back out. Down dog becomes our rest. Breathe, push into those hips. We got one more, guys. We can do it. Shift those weights over your arms, lowering down with as much control as possible. Right an inch right above. I promise we'll get to drop our knees at the end of this one. Hold, push the ground away. Core is tight. It is working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees. Sink back into a child's pose. Take 5 deep breaths. 2 seconds in, 4 seconds out. Okay, breathe. All right, as y'all finish up, still relaxing, this next movement that we're gonna be doing, we're gonna go right into it. We're doing, if you can't tell, good amount of arms today, chest. We're about to do some chest. We're gonna be doing 5 regular push-ups and then 5 push-ups where we are going to rotate onto our fingertips of one side. So it's gonna make you slightly turn out. It's gonna change the push-up. It changes the type where you're hitting it in your chest. And so we're gonna do 5 regular and then immediately right after that 5 of those alternating onto your fingertips, and I'll show you what that looks like. When you do these push-ups, really, if you can't do it on your toes and you can't go all the way down, it's much better if you just do it on your knees so you can get that full range of motion. Because you don't want to be trying to do it, and I know we all want to be able to do it on our toes, but sometimes we just don't have, that strength yet. So if you don't have that strength yet, instead of going partial push-ups, much rather go onto those knees, get that full range of motion so you can build that foundational strength so you can move up and do it on your toes and you can go all the way to the ground, okay? So make sure you're building that strong foundation of a movement and not just doing a half rep because you really want to do it on your toes. When you do it on your knees, also make sure that they're not stacked underneath your hips. Make sure that they are at an angle, so they're not stacked. That's going to keep your core engaged, keep your tailbone tucked, whether you're on your toes or your knees. Keep that core working. So, first set, I'm going to show you one of each. So regular, all the way down. Also notice I'm not bringing my arms out to the side. That puts so much strain on your shoulders. You want to have a little bit of a halfway point or 45-degree angle. Not glued into my sides, not coming flaring out. You can feel, once I do that, my shoulders just taking over. You're right in the happy medium of those 2 movements. So you're coming down and then up. It should feel natural. When we're doing the other one, actually we're going to be doing 6 because I'm not thinking they're awkward. You'll see why in a second. You're going to come down, come onto your toes. So you're opening up. You're going to come down onto your toes, onto your fingertips, and then you're gonna come down. So we're gonna actually do 3 per side because 5 wouldn't work. All right, so get into position either on your knees, on your toes, whatever it may be. First one, fingertips are spread. No matter what you're doing, you're gonna breathe, try and get that chest all the way down. We're doing 5, so when you're ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, right into it. So this next one, when we go down, we're going 1, open to the side, onto the fingertips, down. This would be the same on our toe, or on our knees. Breathe, we got 1 more on each side. Breathe, drop a knee, and child's pose. See, that wasn't that bad. Not too bad. Rest. Put your head on the ground. And breathe. We want our wrists to have a break. So we're not going to be doing anything between these. We're only going to do those just because we want our wrists to not be overwhelmed. Breathe. Two more breaths here, and then we're going to go back into it. All right, when you're ready, coming forward again. I tuck my shirt in so you can kind of see how I'm keeping my tailbone tucked a little easier. Once I'm here, so this is an untucked, so you see that curve in my back? I want to tuck that tailbone in, so now I have a slightly rounded back. That just makes, it's like almost like I'm doing a hollow hold as I'm doing this push-up. Core is engaged, and that's proper form. Coming down for 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, breathe, take a second, going into our alternating onto fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come back into child's pose and rest. Resting those wrists, those shoulders, those arms, and breathe. Good, keep breathing. We're taking a few more breaths here. We're going to do 1 more round of those, and then we are moving on. Breathe. One more breath. Breathe. All right, last 10. So we're going to come down. Keep that tailbone tucked, right? As I get tired, you'll probably see my tailbone comes untucked, so just be constantly aware of what your tailbone is doing, because as we get tired, we just tend to relax it. So keep that in mind as you're working. Tailbone tucked. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right into those alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and rest. Child's pose once again. This time we're going to thread the needle. Thread the needle. Breathe. Try to relax your body. Nice deep breathing. Let's control that heart rate. Good, keep breathing. And switch. Thread the needle on the other side. Breathe. relax. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start doing a little something with our weight. So if you have that weight, or if you're not using weight, or if you're using a book, make sure you have it right by you. You're gonna turn over onto your back. And this first one is gonna be a partial Turkish get up, which I've done when I used to do the core classes on Wednesday. I did some of these here. If you are using a book as your weight, you can hold the binding of the book instead of like holding it flat, because otherwise you risk it falling down. We're not doing a full Turkish get up, we're only gonna be doing the first half of it. An entire Turkish get up is where you go all the way to standing while holding the weight in one side, but we're not gonna be doing that, we're gonna just do it on one side. So how it works, I'm gonna start with my left side. I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna grab my weight. How I get the weight on top of me is I turn to the side, I grab it with both hands, rotate over. Left side, since that's the side I'm lifting, my left leg needs to be bent, my right leg needs to be straight. Now this can be a lot of hip flexor as well. So if you have a weaker hip flexor, your leg is gonna be tempted to come off the ground. Your goal here is to keep it on the ground, whether you're doing weight or not. If you're not using weight, you're doing the exact same movement, you're just holding your hand up in the air. So left arm is gonna be up, my right arm is gonna be at an angle, so not again, out to the side, not close to my body, right in between. Now I'm gonna be lifting and I'm crunching up. I'm gonna lean into that arm, so look how I'm pressing into the floor with my hand, pressing in with my elbow, and then coming all the way up. All right, now you could stop here. You could come to this point, and that's good too. You don't have to come all the way up. You're trying to keep the weight overhead the whole time. You don't want it to fall forward. Come down, lower. Breathe, that would be one rep. Up, breathe, and down. If you're unsure of how to do this and you're using weight, I encourage you to do it body weight without weight at first so you can get the hang of the movement, and then maybe add weight. You don't need very much weight for this to be very hard. We're only doing a few. You want to do it with as much control as possible. Breathe. That was our last one. We're gonna bring it down, switching to our right side. Again, making sure that arm is at the proper angle. My right leg is bent, left leg is now straight. Right leg, or right arm up, leaning up. You'll probably find that one side is gonna be a lot stronger than the other. This is definitely gonna be my stronger side. Breathe. It's a good practice to look at the weight as you do this, in case you ever want to do the last part of the Turkish get up, where you do come up onto your feet because you need to watch the weight the whole time. All right, breathe, guys. We have one more. Last one. And for reference, this is 15 pounds. And that is still a very good weight. You're gonna roll to the side. You can drop that weight. This next one, we're gonna be doing boat pose. Now, if you feel like making it a little bit harder, we can add a chest press in with it, whether you're using weight or a book. I'm gonna show you that while you catch your breath. Regular boat pose, your feet come off the ground. If you're using a weight or if you're using a book to press, your feet do not need to come off the ground. You can keep them on the ground to keep you steady. I'm going to be using a weight and pressing it out forward. If you have a book like this, so you can have your hands pressing, the wider the book, a little bit better probably. You don't want a super thin book or a book that moves a whole lot, so something that's kind of sturdy. Pressing in and pressing out. Now you could do it with the book, with your feet elevated, and do a nice boat pose while you press out, but you don't have to. All right, with the weight, what that's gonna look like is I'm gonna hold the weight like this. Again, feet could be elevated, or I could keep them down. you're pressing out and in. So this is elevated. Feet up, pressing out and in. Otherwise, feet down, pressing out and in. Don't round your back as you're doing this a ton. So if it's too heavy and you're doing that, that's not good. Drop the weight, do a body weight. If you're doing a body weight, you're just holding here. All right, so get in position. We have 10 of these. Once you're here, let's go ahead and start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Breathe. Take a second. You're going to come all the way back. We're going to be doing some stretches in between those two. Bring in a little bit of a yoga. I told you this was a hybrid class today, so a little bit of weights, a little bit of stretching. Y'all please let me know at the end of this if you like this kind of workout yoga class where we do a little bit of stretching and stuff. A little bit different than my regular athletic. All right, put your ankle above your knee. Let that foot fall to the side. Want a little bit more of a stretch? Take your, since this is my left knee on top, it's falling to the right side. I'm going to take my right hand, pressing against the meaty part of my leg, not my knee, pressing it away from my body gently. Unfortunately, I won't really see any comments left on this after I end the live stream. I wish that Instagram would let me, but once I end the live stream, all the comments are wiped and I never see them. So if you enjoy this type of workout, or if you enjoy my regular athletic class, please let me know, because I like to experiment and try different things. So send me a message or send me a comment after I post this video on my IGTV. Breathe. Let's rotate it up. Switching sides. And taking my left arm now and just pushing that leg away. Full stretch. Should you feel good on your obliques. Breathe. Good. 2 more breaths. And bring it back up. All right, returning over again, grabbing our weight or grabbing our book or grabbing nothing and just holding the air, whatever you're using. Starting with that left side, left knee bent, right leg extended out, left arm coming up straight, right arm at an angle, lifting up onto the side, so I'm leaning onto that side, then pressing up, coming down with control. You don't want to bang that elbow on the ground. You want to try to lower down with as much control as you can. Breathe. Keep going. 2 more. Last one. Bring it down. Switch sides, right leg bent, left leg extended, right leg up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Crunch up, all the way down with control. Breathe. Slow and steady. 2 more. All right, guys, 1 more. Good. And down. You can drop the weight to the side temporarily. Breathe for just a second. Come up into that boat position that you know we gotta do still. All right, with weight, again, pressing, either feet hovering or feet not hovering, body weight with a book, with a weight, your choice. All right, breathe, grab whatever you're using. Remember, if you're just doing a body weight, you're just holding the position. You're not pressing or anything like that. All right, lean back, lift up those feet if you are lifting them, or keep them on the ground. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. All right, weight goes off to the side. Lie all the way back. Breathe. Go ahead and grab your feet and go into a happy baby pose. So happy baby, you can hold it a bunch of different ways, right? You can hold it behind your knees and pull those knees towards the ground. You can grab onto your ankles. The goal here is just to drive that knee towards the ground, okay? So grabbing ankles, pushing it towards the ground, holding it, trying to keep both shoulder blades on the ground, grabbing feet or grabbing toes, hooking onto toes, whatever you can do. You don't want your feet together, so they shouldn't be together like this. Your feet should be wider than hip width apart. And again, a pulling motion, trying to drive those knees towards the ground. The best part of these live streams is that you get to do happy baby at home, not with anybody else in class. Whenever I do this in a class of students, when I used to be able to do it in a class of students before the whole pandemic thing, I feel like everybody felt awkward doing this one. So hey, at least we get to do it in the comfort of our own homes now. Nobody can watch. Breathe. Good, hold it. Trying to relax those hips. Good. Drop those legs. All right, we're gonna do some hip stretches now. So we only did 2 of those weighted exercises. I thought I would be kind to y'all and maybe just do 2 rounds of it since I've never done a weighted movement in class before. So we're gonna be turning over and you're gonna come into a kneeling position. Tuck my shirt in so y'all can see how my hips are moving. So come into a kind of low lunge and don't stick your booty out. You're gonna tuck your tailbone in, and right away when you do that, you should feel your hip flexor in your quad, the front part of your leg. You should feel it turn on when you tuck your tailbone. So no booty, it's not an attractive pose, you got no booty going on. And then to make it a little more intense, let's come up onto our toes, still tucking that tailbone. If that's like it, if you're feeling, whew, that is tight, I am good, you don't need to do this next step. If you feel like you can go a little bit further, never force yourself in a stretch. So just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that you need to do it the whole way. So on your toes, from there, if you feel like you can bring up that foot, ooh, I am, like I said, super tight. I'm gonna grab that foot, keeping my tailbone tucked, right? So I'm grabbing it, and honestly, grab it with whichever hand that you feel comfortable with. So obviously, for me, it's more comfortable with my right hand because it's on my right side. So I'm pushing, I'm still keeping that tailbone curved under, breathing. That hip flexor is so tight for me right now. I feel it the minute I came up. Drop that foot down, tailbone still tucked. We're extending our right arm up, elongating from our hip into our oblique, all the way up into our side, our serratus, our ribs, and into our fingertips. So you're extending up, keeping that tailbone tucked. Now curve away. So what that looks facing, y'all, I'm tucked, I'm reaching up, I'm curving away. Ooh, like I said, I tight. Breathe. Tailbone stays tucked the whole time. Don't let it untuck itself. Breathe. So like I said, those Turkish get-ups, they can hit your hip flexor a lot. So that's why I wanted to do a little bit of releases before we finished. All right, go ahead and put that leg down. Bring your right leg, or whichever leg forward that you didn't have forward. I didn't say which one to do. So my right leg is now forward, tucking that tailbone. This side is extremely tight, so I can even feel as I tuck my tailbone that it's going to be really tight for me to bring this leg up. Rolling onto my toes. Let's see how it feels. And it feels tight. All right, keeping it tucked. Remember, this is not an attractive booty pose. All right, you have no butt while you're doing this. Honestly, a lot of movements that you need to do in any exercises, your tailbone should be tucked to stabilize you. So if you see videos of people lifting weights and their booty is like this, that's improper form. A lot of times you want no butt while you're doing a lot of exercises, so keep that in mind. When in doubt, tuck that tailbone under. It keeps your everything locked in, your spine, your core, everything locked in. All right, come and lift up that leg. Let's see if I can do it. Keep that tailbone tucked. If you feel like this is too tight for you and you can't keep your tailbone and it automatically wants to go back, then go down a level, because you need to keep that tailbone tucked to really get the most out of this stretch. This can also be done up against a wall. So this foot, this back foot that I'm holding, can be on the wall, and it can make it very intense, but same thing there, your tailbone still needs to be tucked. Breathe and release. All right, keeping that tailbone tucked, we're gonna extend our, since this is my left side, my left arm. Again, I'll face y'all so you can see it. Tailbone tucked the whole time. Extending that arm up, 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 and curving. Tailbone tucked the whole time. Breathe. Sometimes, depending on how tight I am, when I'm stretching my hip flexor, I'll feel it in my back as well. On this side, I feel it in my back as I'm stretching my hip flexor. Breathe, breathe, breathe. On the other side, I do not. Good, and relax. All right, since I'm facing y'all with this leg that's just already in front, don't worry, we'll switch back to the other side too. You're gonna come down, and this knee that's in the back is not gonna be stacked underneath my hip. I want it to be extended. So I'm pushing my weight forward. This back leg is going to be extended, right? So you should feel that stretch there. As you're doing that, go ahead and grab onto that foot, drop this knee to the side, but don't let your foot go with it. Breathe. I realized my mat is blue, and I was going for a red, white, and blue theme today, since it's the 4th of July, but mine's more like maroon, gray, and blue, but hey, it's close enough, right? I just realized that as I went back, I was like, okay, almost did it without thinking. Breathe. All right, sink back into those hips. Knee is still driving out to the side. Okay, so this whole time, my knee is trying to go out to the side, but I'm holding onto that foot. I'm not letting it open up. Breathe. One of my favorite stretches. And this is actually from a mobility book. It's the weirdest name ever. It's called The Supple Leopard, and it has really great stretches, deep stretches. It's just an interesting named book. Those who are personal trainers who really like mobility work, y'all like Supple Leopard. I like it too. It's just a funny name for a book. Breathe. All right, let's rotate that hip back, switching sides. This leg comes forward, grab onto that foot, let it drop to the side. Breathe. Don't be surprised if maybe on one side your knee doesn't, open up as much as the other side. Each side is completely different. I feel like I say that all the time, but it is true. Each side is going to be different. Each side will have its, limitations and its strengths. It's because we are all dominant on one side, so we tend to develop just differently on each side. Breathe. Driving that knee out. All right, let's rock those hips back. Still driving out that knee. Now while we're just hanging out, I thank y'all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this hybrid workout with a little bit of weights. It was a little yoga, a little bit of weights scattered in there. Y'all, again, please let me know if this kind of Saturday morning workout you like more, or if you like my regular athletic yoga more. I will post this on my IGTV and on my YouTube once we are done. Breathe and relax. Come forward, let's rotate that hip back. All right, guys, you're done.